Hello and welcome back to another episode of our eTail UK pre-event speaker interviews. Delighted to be joined today by Duncan Rutherford, Head of Tech and Gaming at EE, and also another wonderful member of our advisory board for the eTail UK portfolio. Duncan, I'd love to hand over to you to give a brief introduction on your role, explain a little bit about your background and how you got to be where you are within EE.
Thanks, Max, and great to catch up again, all things eTail. Duncan Rutherford, as you've said, Head of Tech and Gaming at EE. Essentially, me and my team cover everything from what we class as our new markets portfolio. So when we're selling TVs, audio products, game consoles, all of the products that really underpin the network that we've got within EE, we sell our products open to everybody. So we're available to all in the retail space, and we sell across our digital channels, which is the app and the web. And also our assisted channels as well, our contact center and our retail stores. So, great footprint across the UK, a fantastic brand, and now really being able to drive these kind of third-party ancillary products that underpin the network credentials that we already have.
Sounds like there's a lot to going on there for you and your team, a lot to keep you busy. Obviously, given that your sort of role traditionally, especially, had quite an e-commerce heavy angle to it, what would you say is that one investment area or thing within the e-commerce space that's going to define the winners in the retail space in the next couple of years?
Oh, Max, I think the easiest, everyone just throws the word AI out there now, don't they?
Absolutely,
if we just invest in AI, it'll all be fine. I think what's really critical is AI is going to underpin the solution to a lot of the problems. But I think how brands are going to win over the next few years, how eTail is going to win over the next few years is making sure you've got a real use case for what that AI is going to underpin. Absolutely. A customer solution that you're trying to solve, a commercial problem that you're trying to unlock, and almost utilizing AI to either aid discovery, aid speed to market, and testing and learning. So it absolutely underpins a critical pillar in how we're going to do things and which brands will succeed. But I think fundamentally for me, the actual underpinning of that is which brands harness and use first-party data in the best way. It's going to become harder for us as brands to necessarily collect and use as much third-party data as we may want to. And I think it's critical that we underpin the first-party data and then think about how we seed that out, build tangible metrics of what we're trying to solve, and use AI to complement that and support it. And chase the right kind of partnerships that are going to help us unlock that, but also don't like chase a golden goose of AI is going to fix all your problems. Yes. I think it's really got to be based around a customer or a commercial challenge that we face as organizations, and then ladder in, what are we trying to solve? How is the best way to do it? And then guess what? There'll probably be 3 or 4 different ways to do it. So let's use AI, let's test and learn. And I think that the investments that we make in that space are going to be absolutely critical. And certainly for us as an organization, whether we're using it to aid what we're doing on site, how we're getting customers to search and discover, how we're trying to feed that into the order journey, if you will, and also managing that customer life cycle is going to be key. But at the heart of it is, what do we know about our customers? How do we bring products and services to life that are going to be relevant at the right time with the right proposition?
Interesting. A point you made there around obviously like use cases as well. I think that's something that we've seen even across the eTail events in the last couple of years, moving from the theory of AI to, okay, we all sort of know what it is, what it does. How can we actually start to use it now? Not just where is it going to happen, but what examples are there of AI actually sort of coming in and happening now? Obviously, we're seeing with AI, it's increasingly influencing discovery and decision making as well. How's it changing the way that you are thinking about attribution and measurement?
It's massively changing everything. I think attribution and measurement is probably one of the trickiest things at the minute, right? It feels absolutely. Like it's almost the thing you're trying to solve after you've tested and learned something. That's not really the way you should be trying to do things. But I think it's evolving at such speed that you almost need to accept there's going to be a little bit of unknowns when you're stepping into this territory. But what is absolutely clear from a discoverability perspective is that customer behaviors are starting to change. The way in which they are willing to go and put information into a large language model and receive feedback and guidance around what they're looking for and how they're choosing to shop is absolutely changing. And I think there's an acceptance that we won't get necessarily as much insight into how that's being constructed today, apart from making sure we've got the right content and we're showing up in these models. For me, again, going back to that first party data piece, it's about thinking how we bring that knowledge and that expertise that we've got and what we know about the individuals, of making sure with the first party data that we've collected and we understand about our customers, how do we surface and create a more conversational commerce lens in app, in web, but then also feed it into our retail stores, because everyone talks about omni as well, but I still think there's lots of brands who do that poorly, and there's work for us to do in that space. But I think if we can, the measurement will be able to come as we start to understand how the behaviors are changing, where the customer is coming from, and what
Hmm.
level of insight do they have when they land. One thing I've found in some testing that we've done is that a lot of customers feel like they get a decent level of insight and understanding as part of like AI discovery, for example. But actually,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of unanswered questions when they land. There's
Mm.
still, if you think about when you land in a digital experience, you may have been told that this might suit the solution you're looking for, but you're
Hmm.
still going to be sense checking. Well, what does this come with? When am I going to be able to get it? Is this the best product price and solution for my needs? And that becomes our job as retailers then, to make sure that we've articulated as part of that journey
Mm.
that what they've been told in the upper funnel actually stands true. Because if you don't
Yeah.
stitch these two things together, all you'll do is drive lots of awareness, and then people are going to bounce and they're going to go look somewhere
Mm.
else. And I think that's a really important thing that we all need to get used to, certainly with the, maybe not so much the measurement, but over time the attribution of how you create a steel thread between where the customer came from and what they were asking for, and ultimately
Mm.
where that model has landed them on. And
Yeah.
and I've got to be honest, Max, it's one of the reasons I'm coming to eTail, right? Because I think I need help from all the leaders across
Absolutely.
all of these organisations. We've got to work together on some of this stuff, right? Because,
Yeah.
and we discussed it at your most recent one, back at Twickenham, when we did one of the panels, you really, really get a sense that everyone is got an excitement and a buzz about it. But actually, if it isn't feeding into our customer life cycles and how we manage them over
Mm.
time, actually, we're not getting the best out of it, and it will be, be really difficult to track. So yeah, more so over to you and the rest of the eTail community to help me with, if I'm honest.
Amazing. Guess sounds like we've got some work to do there, Duncan. I mean, on the customer journey side, and I think it's something that I know, touched on and spoke about before, they're spanning across so many different touch points now. You've got social commerce, marketplaces, your own sort of online and physical stores, and as you mentioned there, even like AI-driven discovery, conversational commerce, large language models providing product suggestions. Thinking about the truly omni-channel approach and the way customers are expecting wherever that touch point, how do we sort of go about navigating the challenge of they might start somewhere and finish somewhere else on different touch points? What are you guys doing or seeing? Are there any ideas around how, with the growing customer journeys, you can sort of manage all those different touch points?
When you word it like that, Max, it does sound pretty overwhelming. I'm not going to lie, but it is, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
It's both a gift and a curse. There has
Mm.
never been more ways in which customers can be excited about
Yeah.
products and services that we offer as retailers in the UK. There's never been more ways you can reach them. Picking the right ones to land the right customer and being relevant is
Mm.
absolutely the biggest challenge. So, all of those things you talked about before, like social commerce, it's an important field to be playing in, but you've also got to think, is it right for your brand? Marketplace
Yeah.
is another example. Can you get scale? Yeah, of course you can. But actually, is it the right fit for your brand? And for us as EE, we've spent the last couple of years investing into creating a single digital experience where you can buy our products and services rather than
Mhm.
having proliferated areas of acquisitions that have kind of been
Yeah.
bolted on. We've made tech and gaming, the area that I look after, a real pillar of our new market. So the
Mhm.
ancillary categories alongside our insurance and home security
Yeah.
businesses, and making sure that we offer a rich suite of
Mm.
propositions. But from a tech and gaming perspective, like, these are the products that excite customers. These are the products that they're tangible things that they put on our
Mhm.
network and they use in their day-to-day lives, and it adds value to them. And so, the way we're approaching connecting these experiences is making sure that we show up in the right areas, with
Mhm.
products and our branding, and we leverage our relationships with the big manufacturers that we get to work for, the fantastic brands like Apple or Samsung or,
Yeah.
Sony and Nintendo in the gaming space, and making sure that wherever a customer is looking for those products, we show up. But we're very much
Mm.
around help, guidance, using our authority as a brand to try and
Mhm.
engender that trust that we know what the right products and services are you're looking at. And whether you walk into one of our retail stores, you phone up one of our colleagues, our guides on the phone and ask for help or advice, or you're in the app, we're creating those consistent experiences using the data that we've got and that we've built up as part of that kind of single identity that we have for you to
Yeah.
make sure it's relevant, right? It's got to
Mm.
feel that no matter where you're looking for all of these products, or where you're looking to solve a problem as a customer, like the old adage of I want to protect my home, so I might look for a security product. Like,
Mm.
how do we as a brand show up and say, not only can you use our network to connect that experience, but actually you can buy the products from us at the same time and have that consistent connected experience. And I think that our challenge now, and the challenge for a lot of retailers, but specifically us over the next couple of years, is to leverage that investment to be able to say we've placed the right bets, we've got the right customers, and now it's just making sure we show up consistently in each of those channels. And to be honest with you, Max, as I say, it is overwhelming the amount of touch
Mm.
points there can be, but actually, what better time to be able to make sure that we're doing the
Absolutely.
best job of that possible to make sure it just
Mm.
feels seamless for customers.
For sure, like you say, very exciting opportunities and lots of cool and exciting stuff that you can do with that. So looking forward to seeing how that develops really. And obviously you'll be discussing this and a few other sort of important topics with us at eTail UK as part of the speaker lineup. When you come to the eTail events, and I guess particularly with this one, our first foray up north to Manchester, which we're very excited about, what are you most looking forward to discussing with other retail leaders, and what are you most looking forward to about joining us again at eTail this year?
Oh, Max, I mean, you said it perfectly there. And anyone who can hear my accent knows I'm pretty much I'm pretty northern. I mean, first of all, it's brilliant to finally have eTail in the north and have a hub. There's a incredible digital community up here. You know, part of the digital economy that's driving things forward. And I think it'd be great to have all those leaders from wherever you are in the country meeting and centralising in Manchester.